Athletic shoe is a generic name for the footwear primarily designed for sports or other forms of physical exercise, but in recent years has come to be used for casual everyday activities. Athletic shoes are also known as training shoes or trainers, sandshoes, gym boots or joggers, running shoes, runners or gutties, sneakers, tennis shoes, gym shoes, tennies, sports shoes, sneaks, tackies, rubber shoes or canvers. Etymology: the British English term trainer derives from training shoe. There is evidence that this usage of trainer originated as a genericized trade name for a make of training shoe made in 1968 by Gola. Plimsolls are low-tech athletic shoes, and are also called sneakers in American English and daps in Welsh English. The word sneaker is often attributed to Henry Nelson McKinney, an advertising agent for NWR & Son, who, in 1917, coined the term because the rubber sole made the shoe stealthy. However, the word was in use at least as early as 1887, as the Boston Journal made reference to sneakers as the name boys give to tennis shoes. History: these shoes acquired the nickname plimsoll in the 1870s, derived, according to Nicolette Jones' book The Plimsoll Sensation, from the colored horizontal band joining the upper to the sole, which resembled the plimsoll line on a ship's hull. Alternatively, just like the plimsoll line on a ship, if water got above the line of the rubber sole, the wearer would get wet. Plimsolls were widely worn by vacationers and also began to be worn by sportsmen on the tennis and croquet courts for their comfort. Special soles with engraved patterns to increase the surface grip of the shoe were developed, and these were ordered in bulk for the use of the British Army. Athletic shoes were increasingly used for leisure and outdoor activities at the turn of the 20th century. Plimsolls were even found with the ill-fated Scott Antarctic expedition of 1911. Plimsolls were made compulsory in schools' physical education lessons in the UK. British company J.W. Foster & Sons designed and produced the first shoes designed for running in 1895. The shoes were spiked to allow for greater traction and speed. The company sold its high-quality handmade running shoes to athletes around the world, eventually receiving a contract for the manufacture of running shoes for Team GB in the 1924 Summer Olympics. Harold Abrahams and Eric Liddell won the 100m and 400m events, kitted out with Foster's running gear. This style of footwear also became prominent in America at the turn of the 20th century, where they were called sneakers. In 1892, the U.S. Rubber Company introduced the first rubber-soled shoes in the country, sparking a surge in demand and production. The first basketball shoes were designed by the Spalding as early as 1907. The market for sneakers grew after World War I, when sports and athletics increasingly became a way to demonstrate moral fiber and patriotism. The U.S. market for sneakers grew steadily as young boys lined up to buy sneakers endorsed by football player Jim Thorpe and Converse All-Stars endorsed by basketball player Chuck Taylor. During the interwar period, athletic shoes began to be marketed for different sports, and differentiated designs were made available for men and women. Athletic shoes were used by competing athletes at the Olympics, helping to popularize athletic shoes among the general public. In 1936, a French brand, Spring Court, marketed the first canvas tennis shoe featuring signature 8 ventilation channels on a vulcanized natural rubber sole. Rudolf Rudi Dassler began producing his own sports shoes in his mother's wash kitchen in Herzogenaurach, Bavaria, after his return from World War I, and went on to establish one of the leading athletic shoe manufacturers, Adidas. He also successfully marketed his shoes to athletes at the 1936 Summer Olympics, which helped cement his good reputation. Business boomed and the Dasslers were selling 200,000 pairs of shoes each year before World War II. During the 1950s, leisure opportunities greatly expanded, and children and adolescents began to wear sneakers as school dress codes relaxed. Sneaker sales rose so high, they began to adversely impact on the sales of conventional leather shoes, leading to a fierce advertising war for market share in the late 50s. In the 1970s, jogging for exercise became increasingly popular, and trainers designed specifically for comfort while jogging sold well. Companies also started to market their products as a lifestyle choice. Soon, shoes were available for football, jogging, basketball, running, etc. Every sport had its own shoe, made possible by podiatrist development of athletic shoe technology. During the 1990s, shoe companies perfected their fashion and marketing skills. Sports endorsements grew larger, and marketing budgets went through the roof. Sneakers became a fashion statement and definition of identity and personality rather than humble athletic aids. Use in sports. The term athletic shoes is typically used for running in a marathon or half marathon, basketball, and tennis, but tends to exclude shoes for sports played on grass such as association football and rugby football, which are generally known as studs or in North America as cleats. Attributes of an athletic shoe include a flexible sole, appropriate tread for the function, and ability to absorb impact. As the industry and designs have expanded, the term athletic shoes is based more on the design of the bottom of the shoe than the aesthetics of the top of the shoe. Today's designs include sandals, Mary Janes, and even elevated styles suitable for running, dancing, and jumping. The shoes themselves are made of flexible compounds, typically featuring a sole made of dense rubber. While the original design was basic, manufacturers have since tailored athletic shoes for the different purposes of use. A specific example of this is the spiked shoe developed for track running. Many of these shoes are made up to a very large size because of athletes with large feet. Running shoes come in a range of shapes suited to different running styles' abilities. Generally, they are divided by running style. The majority are for heel-toe joggers runners which are further subdivided into neutral, overpronation and underpronation. These are constructed with a complex structure of rubber with plastic metal stiffeners to restrict foot movement. More advanced runners tend to wear flatter and flexible shoes, which allow them to run more quickly with greater comfort. A variety of specialized shoes are designed for specific uses: racing flats, track shoe, skate shoes, climbing shoe, approach shoe, wrestling shoes, cleats, football boot, dance shoe. Types. Definitions: high tops cover the ankles. Low tops do not cover the ankles. Mid-cut are in between high tops and low tops. Sneaker boots extend to the calf. Sneaker collectors. Sneakers or canvas shoes are casual athletic shoes. Sneaker collectors, called sneakerheads, use sneakers as fashionable items. Casual sneakers such as the Air Force One or Superstar have become icons in today's pop culture. Artistically modified sneakers can sell for more than $500. In more recent years, the classic shoe Nike Dunk has come to the attention of sneakerheads. During the release of these shoes, people often lined up several hours before the shops opened, patiently waiting to get the shoes. Artistically modified runners can sell for up to $500 depending on their popularity. The opening day cost for these shoes can range from $60 a Euro 300. References. Further reading: Smith, Ian. Do the Shoes Fit? Time: 0999, Volume 154 Issue 13, PA 111, Globus, Sheila. What's Your Athletic Shoe IQ? Current Health 2. September 2002, Volume 29 Issue 1, p12, External links, BBC Sport The History of Running Shoes, Running Shoe in the Visual Dictionary at merriam-webster.com, 2002, A Sneaker Odyssey, The History of Shoes, The Painful Truth About Trainers, Are Running Shoes a Waste of Money?